students. Welcome back. Okay, so today we're talking about a theory called Cooley's looking glass theory. The cool thing about this, we're talking about socialization. Socialization is the way that culture kind of makes us into who we are, right? And Cooley has this really cool theory about it that helps us kind of see that process and see how dynamic it can be. So Cooley says that we see ourselves kind of like we're looking at ourselves in a mirror, right? And so what he says is we need other people's reflection of what we're doing to give us our sense of identity, right? And so for example, if I think I'm wearing like a really cool outfit, like I feel really hip, and then I go out into the world and somebody says like, hey, Holly, you look really cool today. Well, woo, that gives me a sense that like, I am cool, right? Like I had an idea of what cool is. I tried to do it. And then people said, yes, indeed, you're pulling it off, right? So that really reinforces my sense of identity. This happens in a couple different ways. Cooley says that we have a front stage and a back stage, and that sort of changes how we behave, right? So your front stage is sort of like you're all put together. You're really putting your best identity forward for people. Right now in this YouTube, I'm giving you my front stage, right? I'm trying to have my act together. This seems like a relatively clean space, right? If I panned to the rest of my house, then you would see the backstage. That is the sort of messier, unkempt, not as strictly socialized parts of our lives, right? So the front stage is that what the best that we put forward, and the backstage is maybe our more relaxed or truer even maybe self, that sort of we only show people who we really care about, which is actually a kind of interesting little thing to think about. So when you go on a first date, it's all front stage, right? Like you have your best outfit, you took a shower, you got your hair oh, I'm frizzy today, right? You got your hair all perfect, you're ready to go. When I was dating, I'd even have a couple things to say lined up so that even my words were kind of polished and put together and I wasn't fumbling around, right? Now, once you date somebody for a little while, you start to move from all that polished perfectness, right, to maybe a more intimate, truer self. And that's that transition to the backstage. So I have an embarrassing story for you. When I was dating my partner, the first time he farted, I was so excited, right? And you might think, Holly, what's wrong with you? But it told me that, hey, this guy who had been very polished in his behavior, he was starting to show me some of that backstage behavior, like farting. We all fart, but we don't want to do it in public. We don't want to do it when we're in that front stage, that ooh, look at me, I'm a really good person, right? But it told me that things were getting kind of intimate. He cared about me because he wasn't just giving me that polish. He was letting me see I'm a real human and real humans do this. And hey, let's be long-term friends together, right? And then we got married, yay! And I see all his backstage behaviors now, right? Ooh, have you ever wondered about that? When you go from that front stage to the more intimate self, you're oh, right? Ooh, I want the front stage back because it's so pretty and polished, but it's not really sustainable, right? Even as a teacher and students, we have some separation. So you're going to only hopefully get mostly front stage behavior, right? But if you come and you hung out with me at my house, eventually you're going to see this more real stuff, the more everyday, not so polished behaviors that go along with being a human. And the cool thing about all of this is this shows how dynamic we are as humans, right? I have myself, I'm Holly, I do my thing, right? And I can polish myself up to show to people, but I can relax a little bit and be myself when I'm at home and I feel safe with people who care about me, right? It's pretty interesting to think how dynamic ourselves are, and then we can kind of manipulate them and move around to have a good, healthy life. Okay, that's Cooley. See you guys soon. Bye!